a while since I made a video. It's been slow going on this kitchen remodel. Like I said before, way back, we did a total gut. I mean, all the way down to the studs and a couple places even a little bit beyond. But over the period of time, I was only able to work on it a couple of hours a day through this due to the pain in my hip. And the doctors are still trying to work on a solution to that. So hopefully it will come. I have good days and bad days, but anyway, so that's why it's taken a long time to do this. We've started this back in about the middle of April, and here it is almost the end of September. So you can tell it's been quite a long venture, but we're slowly getting there. So we're going to kind of go over a few things that we've done. We've put all the sheetrock up, did the taping and floating, had to patch everything up in the ceiling. I don't know if you can see this on that camera or not. I'll get my other camera right here in a minute. And then we textured it, painted, primed and painted it. And this molding up here, all this gray molding, I made all of that because the cost to buy molding is just outrageous. And so I actually made that out of MDF, 5/8 MDF, and my wife calls it crown molding, although it's really not a crown molding, but I guess close enough you could call that. I still got to go back and do some little fills on the seams where I seamed it and stuff, and then do touch up on that, but that's one. Now initially we started texturing this. I had a texture gun that I bought from Lowe's a long time ago. It's a Cobalt. Basically, that thing's a piece of shit. It is really what it was. But it's what we had, and we tried to use it in here, and then a part broke on it, and it just wasn't going to work that good. So I looked up, Harbor Freight had one that goes for about like $28, something like that. Well, they had it on sale for like $24.95. We went up there and bought it, and it's the hopper texture gun. And so I took some of the hose fittings off. You can bring that in here. I took some of the hose fittings off. The other ones there, again, like I said, I'll do show this here, and then I'll show it with my other camera here. This is basically it's a central pneumatic, a 1.5 gallon texture spray gun. And so we bought that, and I took the air fittings off the Cobalt one and put on there. I really like this. It works great. Now what we used for texture was regular drywall mud. You get the 5 gallon bucket. And we thinned it down to where it was about the consistency of pancake batter. And then we would put it in the hopper, and at 40 psi, get back and shoot it on, and it did a fabulous job. It was also a lot lighter in weight because it only holds 1.5 gallons at a time, but you can get a pretty good coverage on that for that. So anyway, we basically did that. Now these cabinets over here, and I'll bring up this other my other camera here. These cabinets over here are ones. Let me see if I can back up. We bought this lower cabinet at Lowe's, and it's a 5-foot sink base, and then we added a 12-inch piece on the side, so we got a total of 6 feet across here. And then these uppers, we happened to buy them at Home Depot because, like I said, with everything being in short supplies, whatever you can get wherever. We've had that bottom center one for a long time, and like I said, we had planned on doing this way back. We just haven't got to doing it. So anyway, now my wife's already, figuring out what she's doing here with the stuff on them, and getting some things in there. The cooktop is going right here. Here's the hood, and that's the pot filler valve on there. So anyway, like I said, we got about 3 inches in between each side. Now, the other thing that we're going to talk about here is the floor in here slopes down this way. So it's lower this way than it is this way. And this is because this old house has settled over the years, because when they built it, they didn't really put the grade beams that deep, and they also never had gutters on it. So you had all that water, and it's caused it to really settle a lot. So anyway, what we did over here on this side, over here with this 6 foot of cabinet space on it, what we did was we cut what's called super shims under the bottom, because I didn't want to go under the bottom of each one and be using these little shims here to try to shim up everything. I cut some 6 foot long super shims under there. Now over here on this other side, these are just sitting in here right now, and they're going to get painted also. These are some cabinets we had from another project. So I've got 11 foot 6.5 from the edge here to down there, and there again, I'm not going to go through there and shim each one, so we're going to cut some super shims. I'm going to cut them in 6 foot pieces, so 2 for each one. And then what we do is we move the cabinets out, we'll set them down, get our start and the finish line, and I've got some Loctite construction adhesive that I think works like a million times better than liquid nails, and I'll try to show a picture of that. But we'll then put those down, and once that's dried really good, then we will set these cabinets on there and start fastening them on the wall. Now, you really can't see it, but this is one of my camera tripods, and it's got a laser on it that I use throughout this thing. And I bought this laser off of Amazon, and so you can see how it works. I got the green because it's a little bit more visible in lighter conditions and stuff. But one thing you're going to notice over here, you see that red chalk line. The red chalk line is a mark that I had shot with the laser in, which would be the top of the countertop, technically, when it's done, or about like that. So it's level all the way from there, all the way down to here. And what we were able to do then is I was able to measure down from that line to the floor here and on the other end, and get the difference between the two. So what I've got here is my cabinet is 11 foot 6.5 long, and on this side I measured 35 1/4 from that line to the floor, and on the other side I measured 36 3/8. So that's a difference of 1 1/8 inches. So my shims have to go from 0 to 1 1/8 inches over 11 foot 6.5. So what we'll do is we'll come through here and divide that in half, and we'll figure out where the 6 foot piece needs to be. Okay, and so like I said, it's almost 12 feet, so I'm probably going to be close enough just to go in and say if I take half of 1 inch and 1/8 at the 6 foot mark and stuff. All right, the other thing that I picked up, I got this at Home Depot. It's a Husky caliper, digital caliper, and I have a dial caliper, and I've also got a digital that I'd gotten at a Harbor. But I went ahead and bought this one because it does fractions. Now, if you live in a country where everything's metric and all that stuff. You probably, you know, you don't need it. But here in the United States, I grew up using inches. And so you can set this and you can see that it actually tells you in inches, in fractions of an inch. And I mean, this thing is fantastic, man. It was like, I think about maybe $29, $30. Came with the case, a battery already in it, and it comes with a spare battery. Now this little hole right here is, if you had that battery out, you could snap it in that hole. I just left it down in here. So anyway, we're going to make super shims for that side over there. Now the super shim rig to cut them and set up, I got the instructions and basically the concept off of a YouTube channel called Next Level Carpentry. And I think the guy over there, his name is Matt. I'll tell you something, he knows his shit. So we built a rig, and we'll kind of show that here a little later on. I'm going to go out and cut some super shims, tongue twister there, and we're going to cut some of those. And so we'll actually film how I'm doing that out in the barn. All right, now here is the back placement of super shim, and it's made in two pieces. Here's where it seams together right here, and you can see, I mean, dead level down through here. This is 6 foot level on here. So this is, we're fixing to glue that down. Then there'll be another piece out, another shim out about this far. I got to measure the kickback on it, about this far out. We'll put the other one down for the face of the cabinet. So then we'll just have to barely do any shimming between the front and the back, possibly just a little bit. So what we're going to stick this down with is this Loctite PL 375 heavy duty construction adhesive, and I really like this more than I like the liquid nails. This is a little bit more fluid. It's not as gummy and everything else as liquid nails is. So I'm fixing to get ready to stick this down. I'll stick this piece down first, and I've got those sitting down there where it's starting, where the cabinet's in. So here you see I put a bead of that Loctite adhesive down through here. I've already glued that first one down, and so now I'm fixing to put this one down, and that's that. I'll double check, and as you can see, dead level. So these super shims really work. I mean, it saves you a lot of headache trying to shim cabinets up when you're got an unlevel floor like we do. So now, like I said, I got to come out a little bit and set this other one. Now what we've got here is, this is where the sink base is going to go. This is the center line of the window down through there. And on this sink base, I have marked pretty close to the center of the base from this side to this side. So we're going to lift this up in a minute, put it on there, and see where we line up, level up, and everything else down through here is going to work off of this. And so we not only got to go up and down, but we got to go straight. And that's going to be a little challenge on this wall, because this wall does this a little bit, so it's going to be a double little challenge down through here. Well, it's actually been a day or two, a couple of days since I did the other first part of this video, where I started putting in these lower cabinets. We got sidetracked one day, and then I went ahead and did all this yesterday. Was hurting pretty bad, so I didn't film it. So kind of finished up at least the base today. Now, so we've got all these in all the way down, and we also put in a cabinet that I had rough built a long time ago that's going to hold the stove or the oven and the microwave, and then has some cabinets on the bottom and the top and stuff, and we put this in. Now, this little corner fill I made with just some 5/8 MDF, and it's got a bottom piece under it, so later when the toe kick goes in, it'll totally seal it off. I still got to back here put some 2x4s on level plane with the cabinets that will support the back of the cabinet out there. So what we're going to do today is we're going to lightly sand these with some 220, and that's just going to smooth them up and clean them a little bit, and then we're going to prime them. We're going to prime the frames, or what some people call the carcass of the cabinets, here and here, and we're going to prime all that, and we're going to prime the cabinet that I've got for the oven and stove. So you can see that right down there. It goes way up, and believe it or not, that ceiling fan does go over the top of it. It misses it by maybe an inch. Had it not missed, I would have had to cut that cabinet down. Now, initially we had painted that black, and way back when we were using it before. But we're going to end up painting all of that with our paint that we're using for the cabinets. Now, the paint that we're using is the Benjamin Moore Advance, and I don't know if I've got that down here. No, it's somewhere else. But anyway, I'm going to tell you right now, the Benjamin Moore Advance paint, this is a satin, is the best paint I have ever used for painting like cabinets and stuff. This stuff, it goes on, it doesn't take a lot, it goes on smooth, it's got a fairly long drying time, so it kind of levels itself out. This was rolled on over here. I don't know if you can see it. We still got a little bit to do, some touch-ups to do on it, but it looks almost like it was sprayed on with a spray gun. That's how smooth it comes out. So, but we used a roller. We used what's called a velour roller, and those are worth getting too. So like I said, the Benjamin Moore Advance paint. This is actually a custom mix that we had done. I took a sample card for some paint that was, I think, a Sherwin's and William paint that they sell over at Lowe's. There was a color in there that we liked. I took it to the Benjamin Moore place. They matched it. And the one thing about Benjamin Moore that I've never bought from, at least the company that sells it around us, and they put my name in their computer system, and they keep track of all of the colors that we would ever have it make. That way, if we ever go back down the road and we need it again, they've got the info. They just pull it up and mix me some more. So anyway, yeah, we're gonna do that, and then at the very end down here, this little gap right there, this will turn into a broom closet, and so I've got to finish framing it up, and then make the doors and everything else on that. So like I said, oven goes in that hall, microwave up here, and down there gonna get 2 cabinet doors on it, up there 2 cabinets. So anyway, that's where we are at this point here. Once we get it painted, I'll show you what it is. We get the bottoms all done, then I'm going to put the uppers up, and I'll film that and a little trick that we use to hold them up. I'm actually sitting on a transmission jack that I use to help hold the cabinets up while we put them up on the top. We're actually doing a little higher, so we'll go over that too. We're doing higher than standard because that way we want room for some things when we're using them to be able to fit underneath the cabinets. So anyway, if you enjoy my videos, please subscribe wherever the little button's gonna be. And if you like the video, give me a thumbs up. That, at least that much right there, really helps my channel out, helps me grow my channel. If you decide you want to support me in another way, a couple of things that you can do. is number one, you can buy me a coffee. That's a deal where you can go send me some money if you want to, not required. The other way to do it is we have dropped our main internet provider that we were doing. It was costing us $95 a month, and it was like 10 megabits download, 2 megabits upload, and stuff. And we swapped over. Right now, we're running on Visible Wireless, which is a cell phone company, a prepaid cell phone service that uses the Verizon network, and they have unlimited everything. So it's unlimited voice, text, data, and even hotspot off your phone. So that's what we're doing. The only thing that they do on the phone hotspot is they do limit it to right now to 5 megabits a second down and 5 megabits a second up. But that's fine for what we're doing. We can watch videos on YouTube, on the TV, and stuff with that, and whatever else. But anyway, I've got a friend code, and I'll put it in the comments below or the description below. And if you decide you want to give Visible a try for either your internet usage, I'll be making a video on how to do that. It's really simple to set it up. But if you want to do that and you use the friend code, you get your first month's service with Visible for $5, and it helps me out too. So that's another way that you can help me out. So there's a friend code down there, the Visible. If you have a phone that already works on the Verizon network, and you can go on their site, key in the IEE whatever number, and it will tell you whether the device is compatible with it. If it is, you just sign up. They send you the SIM card for free, and you put it in your phone, and when you download their app to your phone, you put it in the phone, and set it up, and then you give them the $5 if you've used my code. You get $5. You got your cell phone service. You can use it for cell phone, whatever else. We use it for internet, and we don't game the system. There's a lot of people that try to game the system, and they take the SIM cards and they put it in other device like cellular modems and things like that. Every so often, Visible will do what's called a sweep, and if the IEE whatever number they call it comes back that's not a phone, they will deactivate your SIM card. So we're not doing that. We just put it in the phone. Everything else, later down the road, we're going to be putting a cell phone booster in, which will make it more stable continuously through the day. But anyway, please subscribe, hit the like button, hit the bell so you get notified of other videos. We do a lot of videos on a lot of things that we got coming down the pike here. And like I said, if you want to support me financially with a little bit of money, you can buy me a coffee, or you can use the friend code for Visible. Get Visible, and you get your first month for $5, and it helps me out with my build of Visible as well. So until the next one, where we come back painting and doing some stuff, I'm going to go ahead and end this video.